So you've seen me take a few exams. I've taken the GAT, I've taken SQA's maths exam from Scotland, I've taken the Japanese English test, the Chinese English test, and now I think I want to really push myself and take some VCE subjects that I know nothing about. So the first one that got on my agenda for today is psychology. Now I think the fairest way to approach this is to actually give myself 24 hours to study for psychology in what I call my cram challenge. A5 flashcards. I've decided that psychology is going to be this kind of mauve color. There we go, there's enough for one flashcard per study point. I don't have time to read a textbook in one day, so I've decided to get the 8R Notes Psychology course notes. I don't know whether this is the best brand, it's just sort of randomly which one I decided to get. This is a bunch of materials that I decided I would need, so I printed these off. This one is a set of the dot points that I need to know. That's extracted from the study design, units 3 and 4. So I'm going to work my way through those and make sure they're all covered in that book. I've also got a set of amendments to the study design. They look like mistakes that were corrected. Never seen that before for a VCE study. And this is 2 practice exams, and I'm going to do those after my appointment in the afternoon, because being an adult, I have other things to do. Well, the first thing I need to do is try to break the syllabus up into a set of flashcards. And I thought the easiest way to do that would be by looking at the dot points in the study design, but I don't think it is anymore. Just looking at the dot points in the study design, I've got nowhere to go if I want to expand those dot points to see exactly what I need to know, to get diagrams and definitions and stuff. So instead, I'm using the 8R Notes Psychology contents page. I'll show you. They have already very kindly broken the entire course up into a bunch of dot points, and there they all are on a double spread. How fantastic is that? I'm up to my 10th flashcard now. This is on neurotransmitters, and I'm finding I'm actually ahead of schedule. It's taken me fewer than 2 minutes per flashcard, and some of them don't even have very much on them. I mean, look at this one. Some of them obviously are a bit more full on, like this one here, but the study design actually says that I don't need to remember all of that flashcard. I just need to have a good understanding of 4 of them, and it seems like I can be free to choose. Right, didn't expect this. The fire alarm's gone off, and I've had to leave the library. Don't know when I can go back in. So since the fire alarm went off, I've relocated to a bench by the main road. There's a nice view here, and the grass smells good, but my flashcards are a little bit messy. Got nothing to lean on, no table. Anyway, nothing stopping me from studying for this exam. I've been here for an hour and a half, and I've completed flashcards on one area of study. That's a quarter of the course. So at this rate, the entire course is going to take me 6 hours, and that's twice as long as I thought it would take. Some of the flashcards are literally a double-page spread in this notes book, so condensing that all down to one flashcard is actually quite a challenge, and reading it and internalizing it. To be fair, the fire alarm went off in the middle, but I'm just going to plow through as much as I can. So my 3 hours is up, and I've only managed to do 1 unit. That's actually half of what I thought I'd get done, which means I'm taking 4 minutes per flashcard, not 2. But that's okay, I have to get through it all. Now, 3 hours is roughly the right amount of time. 3.5 hours is a good study session. I have literally not moved except for the fire evacuation. Probably get 1 practice paper done tonight, and then who knows, maybe I can wake up at 6, find a place before the library opens tomorrow and do another practice paper and mark that before the real exam. Let's see. So yesterday I did manage to finish all the flashcards. There were 76 of them, and then in the evening I went back to the library and finished the multiple choice section. There's 50 questions of one of the practice exams. I marked it. I was quite pleased with my score. I know my study score equivalent, but I think I need to do 1 or 2 more before I do the real one. Now I'm doing the real exam in 2 hours, and in the meantime, because I'm an adult, I have a conference call for 1 of those hours. So now that gives me 1 more hour of proper exam practice. I'm marking my practice exams. Hopefully very soon you'll know my study score. Paper. Psychology paper's been marked, and I didn't do that great actually. I got a study score of 30 raw. I made a few mistakes. I'll show you. Question number 1, which should have been incredibly easy, I got wrong because I didn't read the numbers properly. I did well in the multiple choice. That was an A, but I really fell down in the short answer section. I'm going to show you what I got wrong. I forgot which neurohormone this was. I forgot about the Cellier's general adaptation syndrome. I got none of those right. I analysed this very, very well though. I got full marks in that. That was an experimental design question. I forgot the sampling procedures. I chose independent groups when the answer was convenience sampling. I drew this graph wrong. I'd never seen a graph like that. Maybe there was one in the textbook, but there was not one in my study guide. It makes a lot of sense now, thinking about it. Now I've seen the answers. I therefore got the description wrong as well, so I lost 4 marks there. And because it follows on, I mean, now I was on the wrong thread of thinking, I'd also lost 2 of these 3 marks as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 5, 6 marks lost just on that question there. So I think if I'd have known that neurohormone and I had known that the graph was going to do that, then I would have got a much better grade, but never mind. Raw score of 30, scales down to a 28.